Russia is still working with the U.S. after Trump said he is angry with Putin. In the complex fabric of international relations, few threads are as intricate and fraught with tension as the relationship between the United States and Russia. This narrative unfolds against the backdrop of a changing geopolitical landscape marked by shifting alliances, historical grievances, and the ever-present specter of conflict. At the center of this narrative is the figure of Donald Trump, a president whose rhetoric and actions have often oscillated between open hostility and unexpected friendship with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Trump's recent expressions of anger towards Putin, especially in the context of the ongoing war in Ukraine, serve as a key moment in this ongoing saga, revealing both the fragility and resilience of diplomatic ties between the two nations. The relationship between the United States and Russia has long been characterized by a series of ups and downs shaped by historical events such as the Cold War, the collapse of the Soviet Union, and the subsequent emergence of new global dynamics. With the advent of the 21st century, the post-Cold War optimism that once defined U.S.-Russia relations began to fade, giving way to a growing sense of distrust and rivalry. The annexation of Crimea in 2014 marked a significant turning point, leading to sanctions and a deterioration of diplomatic relations. Against this backdrop, Donald Trump's election in 2016 introduced a new variable into the equation, complicating the already fragile ties between the two nations. Trump's presidency was marked by a number of controversial statements and actions regarding Russia. His initial approach was characterized by an unusual sympathy for Putin. He often praised the Russian leader and expressed a desire to establish closer ties. This position met skepticism and criticism from many circles in the United States, where concerns about Russia's interference in the 2016 elections and broader geopolitical ambitions were at the forefront. However, as Trump's presidency progressed, the complexities of international diplomacy began to emerge, revealing the limitations of personal relationships in the context of entrenched national interests. Recent statements by Trump expressing anger towards Putin for his comments about Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky provide an opportunity to glimpse into the evolving dynamics of these relations. Trump's frustration was triggered by Putin's suggestion to create a temporary government in Ukraine, which Trump perceived as undermining Zelensky's legitimacy. The former president's remarks, made in an interview with NBC News, marked a sharp departure from his previous conciliatory tone towards Russia. "You could say I was very angry, upset," Trump stated, emphasizing the emotional weight of his response. This shift in rhetoric reflects not only Trump's personal views, but also highlights broader implications for U.S.-Russia relations. In response to Trump's comments, the Kremlin's reaction was restrained. Press Secretary Dmitry Peskov stated that Russia remains committed to cooperation with the United States. This attempt to reduce tension indicates a strategic calculation on the part of the Russian government, which seeks to maintain the appearance of stability in relations despite the volatility of political rhetoric. Peskov's assertion that there are no immediate plans for a call between Trump and Putin, while leaving the door open for dialogue if necessary, reflects the delicate balancing act that both countries must perform in navigating their ties. The consequences of Trump's statements go beyond mere diplomatic posturing. They resonate with the broader context of the ongoing negotiations aimed at resolving the conflict in Ukraine. For several weeks, American and Russian officials have been engaged in discussions to explore potential pathways to peace, a process that has been fraught with difficulties. Trump's criticism of Zelensky, combined with his new fury towards Putin, complicates this diplomatic landscape. The former president's assertion that new leadership means you won't have a deal for a long time reflects the complex interplay of domestic politics and international relations, where personal grievances and national interests often collide. The image of Trump's comments in the media further illustrates the complexities of these relations. In Russia, pro-Kremlin publications reflected Trump's disappointment, fitting him into a narrative that questioned his commitment to previous agreements. The newspaper Moskovsky Komsomolets, in a rare moment of criticism towards Trump, suggested that the U.S. president was not fulfilling his obligations to prevent Ukraine from striking Russian energy infrastructure. This comment highlights the fragile nature of trust between the two nations, where past agreements can quickly become subjects of political criticism. As the situation develops, one cannot underestimate the broader consequences of Trump's anger towards Putin. The delicate balance of power in international relations depends on leaders' ability to manage personal and political tensions while pursuing national interests. The relationship between the U.S. and Russia, marked by historical enmity and contemporary challenges, requires a nuanced understanding of the motivations and actions of both sides. In this context, Trump's emotional reaction to Putin's remarks serves as a reminder of the human element that permeates diplomatic interactions, where personal feelings can influence decisions with significant geopolitical weight. The current conflict in Ukraine remains a critical point of tension in relations between the United States and Russia, with both nations vying for influence in a region that is becoming increasingly polarized. Trump's threats to impose tariffs on countries buying Russian oil signal a willingness to escalate economic pressure in response to alleged provocations. However, the effectiveness of such measures remains uncertain, as the interconnectedness of global markets complicates the possibility of unilateral actions to achieve desired outcomes. The Kremlin's response to Trump's threats, characterized by a commitment to dialogue, underscores the importance of maintaining communication channels even amid heightened tensions. In a broader context of international relations, the relationship between the United States and Russia serves as a microcosm of the challenges faced by world leaders in an era marked by polarization and distrust. As nations grapple with issues such as security, economic stability, and human rights, the ability to engage in constructive dialogue becomes paramount. The complexities of U.S.-Russia relations illustrate the need to find common ground amidst differences, a task that requires patience, diplomacy, and an understanding of the historical context shaping contemporary interactions. As the narrative continues to unfold, the relationship between Trump and Putin, as well as the broader dynamics of U.S.-Russia relations, will undoubtedly evolve. The interplay of personal grievances, national interests, and geopolitical realities will shape the trajectory of these relations, impacting not only the fates of the two nations, but also the global order as a whole. In an increasingly interconnected world, the stakes are high, and the need for effective diplomacy has never been more pressing. The ongoing saga of U.S.-Russia relations serves as a reminder of the complexities inherent in international politics, where the actions and words of leaders can resonate far beyond their immediate context, shaping the course of history for generations to come.